The real reason for a major AEW change? A WWE show is set to have the company's lowest ticket sales in 6 years. And Triple H exposes the business. It's still real to Jake Roberts, goddammit! I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk news.
Support WrestleTalk!
Last Friday evening, in a brewery in Walthamstow, London, AEW's Kris Statlander won Pro Wrestling Eve's international title from Anita Vaughn. I know this not from social media or the dirt sheets, but because I was there. This is Will Ospreay's tweet promoting that Sky Blue and Julia Hart will be at the Forbidden Door Weekend Eve show. But look, whose back of the heads are in the way? Laurie in the cap there, and the slither of my face. Housemate Simon and Dan the business admin man were also there. Replying to a post celebrating Chris's title win, her AEW colleague and belt collector Mercedes Moné posted, "Eyes emoji!" for Statlander to respond, "Get away from me." Moné is currently the AEW TBS, CMLL World, EWA and Rev Pro British Women's Champions. And at this Saturday's All-In pay-per-view, she could be adding Toni Storm's AEW Women's World title to her shoulder. In a report on AEW's biggest show of the year, Fightful have written that the plans for Moné vs Storm in a champion versus champion match, albeit with only Storm's title on the line, has been in the works since the start of this year. The Wrestling Observer had previously claimed that All In was originally meant to have Storm vs Mariah May in their Hollywood ending match, but that was moved to March's Revolution when they realised May wouldn't be re-signing with the company. The other long-term plan was the other champion versus champion match on the card, but this for both titles. The international champion Kenny Omega versus the continental champion Kazuchika Okada. Their first 4 matches together in the late 2010s are considered the greatest of all time. I'm not going to say GOAT, I think it's a stupid word. Fightful adds that this was one of the first matches booked for All In, which was first discussed even before Omega returned from his bout of diverticulitis at World's End last December. In much shorter term booking, 2 more matches were made official on Saturday's episode of Collision, where Carl Fletcher will challenge for Adam Cole's TNT title, and the Patriarchy's Christian Cage and Nick Wayne were added to the tag team title storyline to weirdly create a 3-way now against the Hurt Syndicate and Jet Speed. Oddly though, AEW's biggest long-term plan for the show wasn't scuppered by injury, visa issue, or even WWE counter-programming. It was because of the biggest heel of them all. Goddamn Coldplay! But before that, here's a message from this video's sponsor.
And that just goes to show that wrestling a bear in a cage is not a very nice way to treat a bear. Hi, Ollie.
Hi.
What you doing?
I'm stealing this!
Not my extra wallet!
Haha! And now I've hidden it far from your eye line. You'll never be able to find it.
Oh no, now what am I gonna do?
Nothing, Luke. Nothing.
Oh, actually, do you know, with Extra's Finder card, it's actually really easy for me to find.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, it's super handy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll find it in a minute, actually, yeah.
Luke, what is an extra?
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 Yes, Extra! Extra is the future of wallets, and right now there is a 4th of July sale where you can get 44% off site-wide. This runs until July 14th, and if you use the promo code WrestleTalk, you'll get an extra 10% off.
Wow, golly gosh and great. This is amazing.
It's really nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Can you show me how to use that metal card ejector thing?
Yeah, no, I'll pass it here, I'll show you. Yeah, fooled you!
Bugger. All In 2023, which broke records as the 3rd most attended wrestling event ever, and All In 2024 both took place in London's Wembley Stadium. They make up the 2 highest gates in the company's history, at $10 million and $6.5 million respectively, even with the second year doing 46,500 paid to the first one's 81,000. So why move this year's All In to Texas, with London getting the Forbidden Door show in the much smaller O2 Arena instead? Originally, it was speculated that Tony Khan just didn't want to burn out the European market, especially with the 43% decrease in attendance from 2023 to 2024. But confirming a Fightful Select report, Khan himself has since admitted on The Rich Eisen show that it's because Coldplay had a 10-show run from the 22nd of August to the 8th of September booked for Wembley years in advance. Yet another reason to hate Coldplay. All In's ticket sales have recently passed $2.5 million, so it is expected to cross the $3 million mark by this Saturday, already making it the company's third highest gate in history. And also on this Saturday for All In, Luke and I will be hosting an exclusive live watch-along on patreon.com/WrestleTalk. So sign up there now. But while AEW is doing all-time top 3 attendance figures, WWE is doing modern era lows. The last Saturday night main event took place on the 24th of May as part of a block of WWE programming over the weekend, all in the same venue, Tampa, Florida's Yuengling Center. Saturday night's main event sold very well, nearing a 10,500 capacity sellout. The next night's NXT Battleground PLE shifted a very respectable 6,000 tickets, great for the developmental brand, and the next night's Raw neared a 10,500 sellout again. The final show of the run though was The Victim, the live Tuesday episode of NXT, which will be broadcast live on the CW, only shifted 1,700 seats, or 16% of the entire building. WWE ended up cancelling that event and moving it to the Performance Center instead. And here, as we approach another Saturday night's main event weekend, WWE are repeating the same mistake. On Saturday the 12th of July, the day after Superman comes out, I can't wait, NXT's Great American Bash will take place in Atlanta, Georgia at a special start time of 3 p.m. It's being held in a small building called Center Stage, which only has a capacity of 772 people. Currently, WWE have only sold 593 tickets, when you'd expect them to have sold out such a small venue. Maybe it's because, on the same day, down the road, WWE will put on Goldberg's retirement show, Saturday night's main event, at the State Farm Arena. WWE have currently sold 10,731 tickets. They've got about 1,700 remaining, so that is expected to be a sellout. But then, the following day, in the same State Farm venue, WWE have their all-women's PLE Evolution. But that has only sold 4,804 tickets. This is 1,200 fewer than the NXT PLE in the same position back in May, and, as the Wrestling Observer points out, will end up as probably the lowest paid for a WWE pay-per-view since the 2019 Stomping Grounds show in Tacoma. You remember Stomping Grounds, right? No, of course you don't. We've all blocked Seth Rollins beating Baron Corbin with Lacey Evans as the special guest referee from our collective minds. Wrestling only began again in mid-2022. It goes from the end of the Attitude Era to Brock Lesnar in a forklift. The reason for Evolution's low ticket sales isn't because it's creatively terrible, though, like Stomping Grounds 2019. It's because WWE are putting it on not because they want to give women's wrestling the best showcase possible, but because it's a cynical counter-programming measure against AEW. All In was originally announced to start in the evening of July 12th. But then WWE announced Saturday night's main event with Goldberg's retirement show to run directly head-to-head. AEW moved All In to that special earlier start time in the afternoon so not to clash. So WWE announced NXT Great American Bash happening at the exact same time. WWE Evolution was originally scheduled behind the scenes to take place last weekend on Saturday the 5th of July, but the Wrestling Observer claims they moved it to All In weekend just in case AEW moved their start time again. It was originally to be held last night. They changed it when they got out of control trying to run 3 big shows next weekend because of All In. They wanted competition in case AEW moved to Sunday. Doing all the WWE shows wasn't what we meant by calling it All In. Ironically, WWE trying to hurt AEW's ticket sales and buy rates might, in the long run, harm their own shows more, with low Evolution attendance, which might lead WWE to again learn the wrong lesson from this, thinking that all women's shows can't draw. In an anticlimactic announcement following Bayley and Lyra Valkyria's double pin draw on last Monday's Raw, as they fought to become the #1 contender to Becky Lynch's Intercontinental title, Adam Pearce just announced on social media that it will be a 3-way match between them all at Evolution. But there might be at least 2 surprises on the show, as WrestleVote is reporting there are backstage talks to bring back the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. They were both released from WWE back in 2021. But it's not just all women that Triple H's business practices are annoying. He's also drawn the venom of Jake the Snake Roberts. Later this month, Netflix will debut the documentary series WWE Unreal. which Triple H has promoted as a real-life behind-the-curtain look at the sports entertainment company. So, expect it to be just as scripted as the outcome of their matches. But even though the series is expected to be very curated by WWE themselves, it is a big step in exposing the business, which goes against the prevailing kayfabe wrestling philosophy shared by many stars of the 80s, leading Jake to say on his Snake Pit podcast, "I think it's foolish. I don't think that product will ever warrant enough money being made for the damage that it'll do." Do you think WWE Unreal is a step too far? Or do you think it'll actually help my mum and dad understand that I actually do know wrestling is predetermined? You don't need to ask me if I know it's fake all the time. Let me know in the comments. Monopoly But Wrestling, however, is 100% real and pure misery. You can watch the horrible insanity as mine, Luke, Laurie and Sullivan's indie promotions try to defeat the big, maybe evil, WWE company, complete with Street Fight.